FIDA has done a lot to make me what I am. And I think as I am there, one of the things that has made me distinctive is the fact that I am a woman lawyer. Secondly, that over time, I have shown that we women lawyers can also care for an ordinary person. That is why you see on my posters that if they want an able and caring MP, then I am going to be their MP. And believe you me, the ordinary person wants a government, a leader that cares. And the people of Ikwe have embraced that and are going to elect me as the first woman MP for Ikwe district. You can't vote now, the dates are dated. So I am standing on a card of the Democratic Party. So I am a proud member of the Democratic Party because I have a legacy of my parents. They have all been Democrats, so I also wound up there. And Ikwe district is the district that is between Mukono and Jinja. So that's where you find Ikwe district. It's a very big district. It has about 190,000 voters. It has 12 sub-counties and 65 parishes. And believe you me, I have been to each and every sub-county in that district looking for the vote. And I don't think any of the other contestants who are standing with me has moved as widely in that district as I have. So I deserve the vote, and I think I am going to get it. I am sure that I'm going to get the vote, unless something else happens. I would like also to thank FIDA for actually looking at a strategic, supporting its members to aspire for political office is strategic to the realization of FIDA's goals. Because unless we occupy those spaces where decisions are made, critical decisions that affect the lives of women, then we cannot make a difference. And I have seen that in all my 15 years of advocacy. I have been to Parliament to advocate against different laws under the auspices of FIDA. And I have seen that in Parliament, women politicians, they are taken up by their party views, and then they forget the views of the woman. So that is why you and I, who know the situation of the woman, and I know most of you have rendered services for FIDA, either providing legal aid or legal education. So you know the needs of these women even better than most of these people who are occupying that space. And yet these are the people who are supposed to speak for the woman. So for me, I got frustrated many times. I would go there to advocate for a law, and I find myself, I am talking to a woman politician who doesn't know the first thing about what disturbs a woman. Or she looks at it more in terms of everyday needs rather than the strategic needs. What does a woman need in order to be properly empowered? So we need women like you in those spaces. Stop hiding behind the fact that we say FIDA is non-partisan. Non-partisan does not mean not political. Everything that governs your life is political. The way your life moves is a decision made in a political office. So if we don't access those offices and those spaces, then believe you me, women's lives are going to remain the same. And you're going to advocate until you're blue in the face. So we need to go and get there and actually wield this power and make a difference. And we need to go there in big numbers. And that is how, for me, the journey I have walked for 15 years as an advocate for women's rights has led me actually to go and seek political office. Because I know that most of the times we get there, we say our things, we walk away, and nothing happens. I have had an opportunity to look at political party manifestos, it is very amazing that political parties which have women in those political parties actually produce manifestos and ignore a manifesto that was sent out in advance, the women's manifesto, you know, this equal by right. They totally ignored it. And then you wonder what is happening in these political parties. So we need to get into these spaces. Please stop hiding. I know many of you are going to vote. Is there anybody here who's not going to vote 2011? Anyone? You're all registered voters and you're all going to vote. Yes. So which means you're partisan and you're political. But FIDA is a place where we come and we don't express our partisan views, so that it remains a safe place. But at the same time, don't deceive yourself that you're not partisan. Please go and be partisan and change what is happening in these political parties. For me, that is why I am there. So if they think that I am going to sit back and hold back and be like an ordinary woman, I don't know. Maybe they'll just frustrate me. But I am hoping and praying that many of you will consider this and actually engage in these political spaces, because that is when, as activists, we are going to actually realize our strategic goals. And the women of Kenya are way ahead of us on this. And I think we also need to follow their example. After all, we have the most conducive environment in East Africa. I have talked a lot. I know my fellow candidates also have something to say, but I wish to conclude and say thank you so much. Thank you very much for supporting us, and we hope we shall be with you even when we go to Parliament, that you shall remain with us. You won't let us hang there and not have the support of the core group that actually got us there. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I wish you a good evening and a good voting. Please vote wisely. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Honorable to be Christine Mugerwa of the Democratic Party. She talked about democracy and she reminded me of my American friend who came and was watching TV and saw MPs being beaten once upon a time, pushing them to CPS. And my Mzungu friend said, I can't believe this. What's happening? Is this democracy? I said, yes, you have democracy. He said, no, that's not democracy. That's not democracy. So I told him, what is democracy? He says, you know what? But then Bush was still the president. I can go to the White House and I tell Bush, I hate you, and nothing will happen. And I told him, even me, I can go to State House and I can say, I tell the president, I hate the Bush too, and nothing will happen. All right, without any further ado about nothing at all, allow me to invite another honorable lady, none other than Constance Obonyo.
I'm sorry I did not come with, there is a write-up I had done for you, but my flash got spoiled. So I'm just going to go through it, through the points. Just a bit about myself. My name is Constance Obonyo. I've participated in many non-governmental organizations. I've participated in church activities, doing community work. I've participated in FIDA, I've participated in FemRight, that's the Uganda Women Writers Association. And so that's briefly about myself, but also why I'm running for Parliament. I just need to talk about the earning capabilities of the residents of Tororo. It demeans a person if they have to come and ask someone else for school fees for their children or for things of that nature. So what I believe is for people to be able to earn a proper income. An able-bodied person should be able to earn an income and be able to sell their goods and get an income to be able to look after their children, to pay school fees and things like that. And also, in the 60s, Tororo was a district that was doing very well in education, but now it's lagging behind. And one of the reasons is because people are not earning very well, and people cannot pay the school fees for their children. That's why even the schools have been run down. So one of the things I'm looking at is like trying to find markets for the people, and also try to source for funding for their many organizations. There are very many organizations there. They have many groups, development groups. Those ones are there, but they don't have funding. So the organ that is running my campaign, it's called Community for Women MP. We've already started collaborating with a civil society organization called Springs Alive. It's an organization that is the civil society advisor for Mayors for Peace. Mayors for Peace is an organization of over 2,000 cities worldwide, and they try to connect schools in Uganda with schools abroad, schools in developing countries, and do things for them. And so we are working with those ones. And we're also working with another organization called Echoing Green. It's an American organization. It sources funding for social change organizations. And so we are also working with those ones to source funding. And so I'm appealing to you to contribute to my campaign. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Constance Ubonyo, MP Tororo. Yes. Here we come, Tororo, here we come. I think they need somebody like you to go and speak out on their behalf, and address their issues, because they were using a certain approach which was dangerous. There's a man who ate a rat, he wanted a business. Their approach was different, so they need somebody to come up and speak for them. And now, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to invite Kezia to come and speak on behalf of Honorable Anna.
Thank you. Well, I do not have a speech, really, because most of what she was supposed to say is already with you. I printed out a message that she would have personally preferred to say herself. Her biography is also around. I printed a few copies. But she stressed that I should thank the organization so much for this kind of organization and unity promotion thing. And as we can see, her posters everywhere, and her slogan is Amazima Obumwe Intunguka. That is true. Unity and development. She's very grateful to FIDA and to the Uganda Women's Lawyers Association and everyone that is here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kezia. And Honorable Anne Mujisha is standing for Bara District Woman MP, which was held by none other than Honorable Miriam Mandembe. Yeah, so you can see there are strong women in that constituency. Honorable Hilda Akabwai couldn't make it, but allow me to speak on her behalf. Honorable Hilda Akabwai is going to win. She has good news and bad news. The good news is that she's going to win, but the bad news, people still have the vote. So tell the people in her constituency to vote for her. Please vote for Hilda Akabwai. If you don't know her constituency, allow me to ask Inindi to tell her that the people said, yes, we have the votes, just tell us the constituency. All right, we also have small books, the issues, the National Citizens Manifesto. Citizens Manifesto is an organization that is addressing political issues. And their catchphrase, they say that politics is too serious to live for politicians. And so they're coming out to help the politicians as well to look at the issues they should address. I don't know if you've seen other billboards written on "Honor your vote." Vote issues not Worokoso. Yeah, that is settled, but they're also under Citizens Manifesto. So you can get yourself a copy of this small paper, issues at a glance, and then you will make up your mind.
We also have the one on equal by right. You can see there's at least a copy on each table. This was launched in October last year, and it was a result of a research carried out by a consortium of women groups. It's supposed to represent what you want. So you should tell our representatives here today that the issues we want are well articulated inside here. The song we heard earlier as the Women's Agenda song was a summary of what this says. Thank you very much.
And now the icing on the cake. We have, what should I call them? Register books for each candidate here. You know when you're going to stand in such areas, people are looking at you, but yet again, they have other issues. And the candidates need facilitation to travel, you know. Going to Biko is not easy. Not so. You have to move. One time I met a gentleman who was giving me directions. You know when a person in the village is giving you directions? Please. A person will tell you where you're going, and they have a way of giving directions. Where is Biko? A person they use their mouth for directions. Where a person will say, it's just there. And you move. People in the village, you say, it's just there. Just there becomes just there. Yeah?
In a few moments, we shall have some entertainment from the DJ, as well as something to make your throats a little softer. For those of you who like something a little harder, it will be available, and we're also bringing some food round. So please stay, don't run off very quickly. And there will be an opportunity for you also to give the candidates some words of wisdom. Some of you have been in politics before, have been partners of politicians, have worked on political campaigns, and the candidates present would really like to hear those words of wisdom. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. In it, just so you know, I was once a politician. Yeah, I only stood for one post, that was food prefect. Because I had to survive. You know, when you have a good relationship with poverty, you have to survive. That's why when you look at inspirational stories by people who have made it, the genesis is always poverty. We used to be poor. We used to be poor. Poverty, you know, it's poverty. You know, some of us were raised in a situation where it wasn't even poverty. Poverty, when there's poverty, there is hope for an NGO to help you. But when there's poverty, you're finished. Yeah, you're finished. I came from a family where there was poverty. We are so poor, even the rats in the house used to gossip about us. You'd find them in a cocoon saying, are they cooking tonight? Imagine that kind of poverty, you know. You're so poor that even poor people call you poor. That was the kind of poverty. And when I stood for food prefect, there were only huge guys. The time I was in high school in the second half of the last century, all the guys were mature. And me, who is Pablo, I was just, you know, a height defaulter, down to earth, mosquito weight, standing for